Hi everyone. Today I am talking to my mother-in-law, Anila Shah. She has always been a strong and financially independent woman. She strongly believes everybody should be, financially independent and work hard. So let's hear from her how she navigated her career with an extended family and raising three boys. So thank you, Mom, for doing this. I wanted to ask you, take us through, when did you first start working? How old were you?
I was 19. Yeah.
Wow. And you retired when you were
60.
60. Oh, so for a very major part of your life, you've been working. Yeah, nice. And take us through your journey. Where did you start working?
In the beginning, I finished my secretarial course and then I got a job with advocates.
Okay.
And I worked there about 3 years.
Okay.
And then I decided I should move. So I have been applying various places and luckily I got one commercial company in industrial area and I moved in there.
Okay. And was this the job you were excited because you had to drive there?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that made me learn the driving and to drive myself.
So that was again a big milestone because you always wanted to be independent. You don't want to rely on somebody
No, because at a certain stage when my father was sick and I had to ask somebody to drive me to the hospital and all that. And at that time, we didn't have matatus or anything. So I found it a bit burdensome to ask somebody.
Yeah.
So that made me also to be independent.
So you look for a job that was a bit further away. So every day you had to drive and get your practice driving.
Yeah, and become a smart driver.
Amazing. And you were telling me when you got married, you already had your own car.
Yes.
And you brought your car with you.
Yes.
Okay, so after industrial area, which other work did you go for?
Then I got a job in the International Life House, Pfizer Management Center. So
that was a good
good job, yeah.
Because a lot of times I've heard Dad talk about Pfizer. He was so proud of it that you were working there.
Yeah.
And when you got married, Dad was not driving.
No.
Okay, so he somehow got inspired by you and he learned to drive after.
Yes.
Amazing story. And after Pfizer, you moved to?
After Pfizer, I didn't want to leave, but the management center were closed and they were moving to New York. So I had to again start looking for a job. And I'd been applying. So in the meantime, I could get a better job. I was just taking whatever came in my way. I went to one of the Sisal company where I worked for them for a short time. I went and worked for another bank for a short time, but I wasn't quite happy with it. But I still kept on applying, and luckily I got a response from UNAP asking me to go for a test. And I went for a test, and that was a job where I ended up later.
Amazing. And then after that, you worked at UNEP for a good number of years,
Yes.
right?
I worked for 16 years.
16 years in Nairobi.
Yes.
And then due to family reasons, you had to move to the UK.
Yes, because my children were studying in UK and they wanted me to be there as like a support. So we bought a house there and I went. I know it wasn't easy for me to leave the job because in a new country, it's not as easy as we think. And when I went there, everybody was asking for experience in London, and I didn't have that experience. I had just gone from Nairobi, and I was surprised that I thought, why they are asking me for this reference?
Yeah, because you've just moved there. How would you have any London? But your experience of UNEP should have counted somewhere, isn't it?
Yes, because it is an international organization.
Yeah, and you didn't get a transfer direct.
No,
you had to apply fresh.
Yes.
That's like starting from scratch.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I was in UK, it wasn't easy for me. I was wondering and saying to myself, and I asking God, help me. How should I go about? And I went for various interviews in between. But luckily, then I got one job in a doctor's surgery, and they wanted me to do the database. And never mind, it was a part time, 4 hours a day. But still, I was driving to the place and working 4 hours, coming back. I didn't bother about the transport or anything, but I said I want to start somewhere. And they were very excited with me that 3 months I finished everything, whatever they wanted to do.
And this was not a 3-month work. They thought it was going to be longer.
Longer, yeah. But then later on, they said they wanted me to do another database. And in the meantime, I got a call from these people, said you come for a test.
Who?
United Nations organization.
In London?
Yeah.
Okay, because you had applied, but you're now waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went for a test and I succeeded, and they called me and said it is a short-term thing, but we'll see how things go. And I took a part-time job.
And then just from there, the short-term became then permanent.
Permanent, right.
Amazing. Some people would even be scared applying to the UNEP or UN, thinking like, no, I don't think I'm going to get a job, right? But that didn't stop you. You applied. We'll see what happens, right?
In the meantime, you keep on doing something else and till you succeed.
And again, other people might say, oh no, I worked at the UNEP for 16 years. Now, why should I take this database job, right?
Yeah.
They would be like, no, this is like, not a good job for me or that caliber of job. But you say, no, let me do whatever comes my way.
Yes.
And that way, like, you meet friends or make friends, expand your network. You might learn a few things about this new country because you've lived in Nairobi, Kenya all your life.
Yes.
Now moving to London, and our whole family was here at that time, isn't it? And all your friends were here from work.
Of course, yes.
So that's a hard move.
And over there, it wasn't easy also for me because driving license, first of the thing, you need to get first.
So you applied for that?
Yes. And the other procedure for our status.
Yes.
And it took me a while to get, bit settled, but at least once I got the job, I felt that I was bit settled.
Yeah.
Because to pay the expenses of everything, it's not easy. Okay, your family can support you, but you did not want them to support you. You wanted to be independent. So I carried on with my work and even taking care of the house, taking care of all the children. It wasn't one, but more than one.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge anyway. And like I started my work early morning and do my things, go to work, come back, do the rest of the thing and keep the family happy.
Just for context for everyone, we lived in an extended family. So there are, even in Nairobi, there are a lot of people, more than 15 at that time.
Yes.
With all the kids and everything. So even at that time, there is so much happening, cooking for everyone. Even when you come back, there is, kids running around, cooking. Then you've got like 3 boys who are also growing boys, when you were here in Nairobi. So how did you manage, the work, life, kids, family balance?
Because in the beginning also, I thought I should not give up my working life. And they did not tell me anything, and I didn't even ask them whether I should carry on with the work or not. But I carried on, and as the kids grew, I had kept a maid who would take care of the children. That was a helping hand. And my mother in law was so good, she took even help in taking care of the children. And family support also.
Family support, yes, because
it helps, yeah.
Other aunties, they were also
Yeah,
there in the
yeah,
house, so
yeah.
the cooking,
Yeah.
and also pick up and drop off of kids. That's also another.
No, I wasn't doing picking and dropping. No.
At that time, dad guys were coming home.
They were
okay.
picking and dropping. So that wasn't my
Responsibility
part
at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I made sure that I was coming for lunch every day to take care of everything, and children are taken care of, everything.
Yeah.
So that made me happy.
Yeah. And also working at the UN, your timing was such that, you would come home not at 5 or 6 o'clock, a little earlier.
Yeah, we were dropping off at 4:30.
Okay, so then you got that, time. So kids would come home, and then you can also like spend time with them, or, studies or XYZ with them as well.
And even like Friday, we were coming out at 2 o'clock. So I would do a bit of marketing, and then I would go home and take care of the children.
Amazing. And let's go back to London and starting from scratch. You said it's not easy. Yeah, it's really not easy. And then here, at least we can hire help. You said you had hired a nanny. Family support is here as well.
Yeah.
Whereas over there,
you have to do everything by yourself, taking care of the house, everything, cleaning, everything. Yeah.
And
it is not easy, even like in a new country, getting used to going from A to B. You have to get used to the transport and getting used to the lifestyle, everything. It's not
hard.
easy, but
so how did you? Yeah,
God is great, I tell you. He has helped me to push around everywhere.
Wow, that's some strong faith.
I believe in him, and that's it.
That is some strong faith. And you retired at the age of 60.
Yes.
So that means you worked your whole life. How was it retiring then?
I know, I felt a bit funny. It's not easy to stop working.
Yeah.
When I came to Nairobi, I felt, I need to do something. But then we had 2 grandchildren, one after another, and I tried to help them, and that kept me busy also. So,
you don't know this, but I am so grateful that, I do tell you time and time again, I'm so grateful you were back, because with Rian, I was given bed rest, and we used to live two floors up above mom and them lot, and there was no lift. And breakfast, lunch, dinner, she would come up running to give me breakfast, lunch and dinner. Sometimes just come and check on me, sit with me, because 2 months of just in the house, on bed, that was so hard. But I was so grateful you were there. And even doctor's visits.
Yes.
And then Rian came, and then at that time I went back to work. So I think from my side, there was so much help that you provided. Even though I had a nanny, I knew you are there taking care of, looking after them. In case something happened, you would be there, right? So in a way, do you think what your mom-in-law did for you, you sort of extended to us?
Yes, one way. But, I myself feel I should help everybody. Whoever comes in, Even if it is an old lady on the road or somebody, I would help.
Yeah, that we have seen definitely for sure. From the time I came into this house, even if a delivery person comes or anybody, they're fed before they leave our
Of
house.
course, yes.
So that's a good culture that you
Yeah.
guys have developed and will carry on. Now looking back, what are you like proud of? In your life, what are you career or home life?
I feel I've achieved a lot from what I've done throughout my life. And I mean, a lot of people have asked me, have you been working all this time? I said yes. And I'm feeling that I've done the best.
Yes, you definitely have, because in that time when you were working, number one, not a lot of Asian women who are married were working.
No.
Number two, not a lot of them were working at organizations like UNEP or UN.
Yes.
I know a lot of them who might have even given up when they moved countries.
Yes.
They would have said, okay, enough, I worked this much. Now it's a new country. I can't get a job because of the challenges you explained. But you carried on.
Yes.
I think that determination is something that a lot of people can take on.
And also it helps, like when you have worked somewhere outside and you've learned a lot of things, at times you have to do something on your own. You will do it. You will not wait for somebody to do it. Because there are some ladies I've seen, they are at house. They don't know things which are necessary to be done.
Life skills,
Yes.
like traveling from country A to country B, they might feel scared because they've not been exposed to it.
Yeah.
It's true. A lot of times, women your age now, some of them, they've lost their partners and then they feel lost. Whereas you help us sort a lot of our problems out as well. You're very much involved in everything that we do because you worked, you understand these concepts. So that's a whole new what you bring to the table, what you bring to the house. And also, because you have worked, you motivate and support us.
Yes.
In working.
Yes.
I remember when I was engaged and you didn't know about my future plans. I was in between jobs and Mom took me to UNEP.
Yeah.
And she showed me around. I've got a friend here. Let's go for a round. And then after we got home, while we were driving home, she's like, would you like to work there? And then that's when I told you we've got plan for our own business. I always wanted to have my own business. So, subtly supporting us that if you do want to work here, I'm here. I can make that happen. I can help you. So that was amazing. And also, I've never felt that you tell us this is the way you should do things. The freedom, I think, comes from your journey. You always give us the freedom.
Because I feel that one should start their own life with their own way of doing things rather than I saying, this should be done in this manner. No. Let them do it. If there is anything they need advice from us, well, that's
you're here.
Yeah.
But that is so huge, that is so huge. The problem starts with mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relation as soon as one person, either one, says, we have to do it this way. Yeah. But as soon as you didn't have any, this is the way it should be done, you do it my way, when that was dropped, when you gave us the freedom, in return, we respect you so much.
Yes.
And we come to you for advice, like, Mom, what should we do? Like, for example, when I wanted to put kids to school, so I asked you, like, this was like some years ago, 6-7 years ago, like, Mom, what school should we choose? And you said, I don't know. I have done mine 30 years ago. Why don't you ask your friends what school is good right now? Why don't you go look around? And I was like, wow, I thought, I really expected an answer like, send them to this school because this one's the best. And all our kids went to this school. So,
Yeah.
we ended up sending our kids to Oshwa.
Yeah.
But it was our choice. We looked around and then we thought, okay, this is a school that is good for us.
Yeah.
If you had, or anybody else had said, send them to this school, then just to spite, like, no, that's not the school we're going to, it could happen.
No, it was good that you tried to look around, explore what is good in which school, and you decided on that. Because as the time goes, things change.
Yeah. So, you genuinely want what is best for us. And in that, the best thing you've offered us, I would say, is freedom to choose. Like, we've made stupid decisions at times and we've made our own mistakes, but even the freedom to make those mistakes.
Yeah, because our relation is not like a daughter-in-law. It is like a mother and a daughter.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. And, people want that, but they want that from the word go.
Yeah.
You can't have that relationship from the word go, I think.
Yeah.
It has to go through these stages that we've gone through.
Yes.
And for me, I think when I got married, for the first 2 years, you were in London.
Yeah.
And I've always known you as mom works. And then when you came here, I remember asking you, like, your life story. And, I was genuinely interested in knowing you as who you are.
Yeah.
And by then, I was working as well.
Yeah.
So I think our relationship didn't start as mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I feel like we actually got to know each other as people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's important as well. But the freedom that you've offered, were you given that freedom from your mother-in-law?
There were some ups and downs, but I did not listen to that. And I did not say anything. I started doing things on my way.
Okay. But how do you then, if let's say, if you were constantly telling us what to do, how would it work? Like, how do you let go? How do you, like, okay, ignore, smile, and carry on living with them, carry on doing what it is that is, good for the family, which I've seen you do. How do you let go?
I don't know myself, but I feel, I should do my things, whatever is necessary in the house. There shouldn't be anything left behind. And I kept everybody happy.
Yeah, that's true. And I asked you, how do you let go? Because I've seen you do that. Your mother-in-law, Ba, was a very strong woman.
Yes.
She had her opinions. Yes, she was very supportive. She did everything in the house. But because she did everything in the house, she had her ways of doing things. Yeah. And she wouldn't like it if we, went against that. But I've seen you just say, okay, no worries, and carry on doing things,
The way she wants. Keep them happy.
Yeah, sometimes the way she wants, sometimes the way, you want, and then later explain. But you might not know how to say it in words, but you've been doing it. All
Yeah.
of you've been doing it.
Yeah, so that keep everybody happy, so that nobody is upset about it.
Yeah.
And like at certain times, we were doing work at late at night, trying to finish some of the things.
Oh my God, especially Diwali times.
Yes.
Oh my God. You went straight to the hospital for the third child.
Yes, before the Diwali.
While you're making Diwali sweets and you're like, oh, I have to go.
And that was on Friday. I had taken my leave, and I ended up in the hospital on Saturday.
Wow. So anything you might want to say to people who are feeling not motivated to work, or who are not getting a job, or who think, okay, this is it, how did you keep on doing?
I
How
think
do you keep
you
on going?
need to, first you need to see what kind of a job you are looking for, and then keep on applying to some of the organization which you think are the one dealing with what your aim is to look for. And
But a lot of times people get rejected. Then how do you keep on moving forward?
listen, if you are rejected, you should think, if this job you can't get, look for another job. You will never be small. Even if you get a small job, start with it. That is a kind of an experience you are getting, and do the job. Later on, you will get a bigger job.
No job is small.
Yeah.
Do something.
Do something. Life is short. Try to do something, then you go further. You cannot go further without doing anything.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's end with that powerful note from Mom. Thank you, guys.